In this session, we're going to look at casting data types. There are several data types that Python does work with, and we're going to see how these can be converted one from the other. Let's get started. First and foremost, I want us to define some of the functions like int. If I put x or a, this one, it will make whatever number, whatever thing is inside there, it will convert it to an integer has or number. This actually converts the variable inside to an integer, and it's going to be a whole number. Okay, so when you have that one, it actually converts the variable inside the brackets to an integer whole number. Then we have another function, which is the string function with this similar syntax. It converts just like the other ones there. It converts the x string to a representation, x to a string presentation. So if, for example, I put x is 2, so 2 will be converted to a string. It will be recognized as a string, which are normal characters. It converts x to a string. And you must be familiar with data types now as a programmer. In the theoretical rendition, these are some of the things you must have learned on data types. So if you haven't covered that topic by yourself, go and read about data types. So string, representation, and then we also have the float. Float is quite interesting. Float x. It's just good to know this as you take them off the way. The float x, it converts. I'll always say copy. You're going to be typing this several times. Copy, paste. It converts x to a float. Now, this is a moving decimal place. It's a floating point number. Yeah, to a floating point. To a floating point number. So it's and when we say floating point number at this stage, these are decimals. Okay, these are decimals, so it's important for you to get familiar with such terms. Then we have the CHR X, which is a character. It converts integer X to a character. Okay, so I'm gonna paste the same thing here. It converts X to a character. So it's quite important to see how these things work. It converts X to a character. X, it could be an integer. In fact, let me put converts X integer to a character. That's how it works. So you find these things very useful. And which one else can we look at? Let's look at odd x. Odd x, what does that do? So it converts the character x. Yes, it converts the character x. The character x is converted to its integer. See the difference now? It converts x character to its integer. Remember the inverse stuff that we talked about in the previous video. So look at that. So that's what that does. Then another one which is quite important. Let me go and look at the uni, because the more of this that you know, the better a programmer you become to manipulate and stuff very easy. It convert this one. I'll just copy that. It converts, oops, sorry, I'll paste it. It converts integer to a Unicode character. It converts integer to a Unicode character. Unicode character. Okay. It converts X integer. Converts X integer to a Unicode character. Then we have the hex. Let's go to the hex. So all these, get familiar with them. This one converts integer X to hexadecimal string. Okay. I'll copy that and paste it there. It converts X integer to hexadecimal string. You should know this by now, otherwise read on this. Then we have the last one, which is the oct. Yeah, the octx. It converts integer to an octal string. So I'll just copy paste that. Integer to an octal string. So these are the functions that we're going to work with now. And to demonstrate this, let us have some examples of how these will work. And I trust that as you go through this, you discover the usefulness of Python in handling data types. So we're going to be casting these data types and see how it works. I believe Python has several data types, but by far the most common ones are the string, integer, and the float. So these ones I've shown you are there for your knowledge sake. The common ones I've mentioned are string, integer, and the float. Okay, let's get started in the actual coding. So I'm going to make those as silent comments, not non-executable. I always say make it a habit when making a program, even a commercial software that you're writing, you must put comments, because comments are going to help you in the future to know what exactly were you doing there. And in case you're going to be working with other technicians, they ought to know what was going on. Okay, let's get it on with it. So we're going to start a new Python program there by initializing two variables with numeric values from user input. So there, and a user will be prompted to input them. So I'm going to say xa is equal to input. There is a video that I did on this. You need to look at it again. Enter. We're going to enter a number. Okay, you're going to enter a number. That's the and then we're going to have another one, which is b input equal now enter another number. Okay, now enter another number. Okay, the next, what we're going to do next, what we're going to do is add statements to add the variable values together, then display the combined result and its data type to see a concatenated string value result. Okay, so here we're going to do now, we're going to add this sum is equal to A plus B concatenated. Let me just put a hashtag so you know what I'm talking about. The concatenated, this is let me remove the hashes so that you can see it clearly. Concatenated, because you're adding things not numerically, string value. Okay, concatenated string value. You see how this works. So let me put hashtag there now so that you know it's non-executable. Now we're going to print print where's my apostrophe? Sometimes my keyboard is dim, I can't see it. Data type sum. Okay, and I'm gonna call the variables, which is the actual sum function which we would define there, and the type of data sum. Okay, let us see what happens here. I missed out a bracket somewhere. Let me see. Enter. Oh, it's enter. Print. Enter something. Yeah, here. I left out something there. Let's say, and also I left out enter, or I didn't have the closing one here. Yes, remember. Yes, I've got enter a number. I'll put a number. Another, let me say 5. Yeah, can you see? Data type sum, class string. So what it's done is just put these two together, one in front of the other. That is the sum plus B. So data type sum, type sum. So this makes it concatenated. Just put them together. It's like I put John and I want to put another word. These words will be just put together. John something. John money. That's what it is here. Okay. So let's try to do. Let's see what happens here with my example, if it does work. Okay. See, watch. Can you see? John money. Maybe this illustrates it better because it has just put these two together. Not numerically, because this is concatenated string value. Okay, let us go to the next level. Now, remember at the top here, we said the top one here, let me remove the hashtags. Yeah, int. So I'm going to make sure that I convert these values I'm entering to integers. So I'm going to have to use that int in one of the statements. So let's do that. I'm going to put hashtag there. So we're going to now demonstrate on the power of using this data convention. Okay. Now here we're going to add we're going to add a statement to casting data types, variables. Okay, let us see. So let's go for this. Why this keep dimming? So I'm going to delete this part because we know it already. I copied it. In the meantime, I'll keep it. Let me copy that. I need to save it somewhere. So we're going to have, I want to just clear some space out of this. Okay, we're going to have here the sum. Notice the sum here will be different rendered in the next one because I'm going to convert the integers or the variables to integers. Sum is equal to int a plus int b. So the variables I'm going to enter there, which are numerical variables, are going to be seen as integers. So print, I'm going to print data type sum and as before, type sum. Now the result here will be different because sum integer, this statement here has got a convention of these integers. These variables I'm going to enter here, they'll be converted to an integer. So let us run this and see what happens. Enter A, I'm going to enter 2. I'm going to enter 5. So this is expected to be different from the first one where both these were seen as strings. Okay, I think I left out something here. File has no attribute type. Print data type sum. Where did I type sum? Oh yes, sorry. It's a full stop. Put a full stop there instead of a comma. Okay, let's try again. That's the beauty about Python. It flags you an error and you go to trace back. It shows you the line where there is an error because of this type. Here, because there was a full stop here, it could not see this. So let us see if that's resolved. It looks like it's resolved. Let's 2, 5. Yeah, can you see now? This first part is executing the string part. Second part, it has converted to integers. So 2 plus 5 is 7. 2 plus 5 is 7. So that you have it now. You have a very good way of demonstrating how this can work. So in the next video, we will add statements to cast a variable value, then display the result and its data type to see a total float value. So we're going to look at the float and then character and some other areas that we discussed at first. So practice with these simple steps and try to use them in your solution for Python. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.